Hey travelers, it's Alex here and today. I'm taking you somewhere few ever go. I've been to over 60 countries, from Arctic tundras to African deserts. I've seen wild traditions and lawless places, Tia, but nothing prepared me for Brunei. It's tiny, it's mysterious. It's richer than Dubai, but most people can't even find it on a map. And when I say it's the richest and strictest country on earth, I mean that in every sense. This is a land where golden mosques rise above, rainforest canopies, where Sharia law rules the streets, and where absolute monarchy isn't just a system, it's a religion. So, buckle up. This isn't a travel vlog. This is an inside look at one of the most secretive nations in the modern world, Dan Hao, somehow, got in. First glimpse, a kingdom in silence sigh landed at Brunei International Airport just after 10 p.m. The terminal was eerily quiet. No crowds, no chaos. No welcome banners or taxi drivers screaming. Just a row of immigration officers in perfectly pressed uniforms and a portrait of the Sultan of Brunei larger than life, smiling gently, wearing a crown encrusted with real diamonds. My passport was stamped without a word. No questions, no fuss. Just a glance, a nod, and a door that opened into another world. A sultan like no other. Let's talk about the man behind it all, Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah isn't just the ruler of Brunei, one of the wealthiest royals in human history. Net worth estimated at $30 billion. Cars, over 7,000 luxury vehicles, including 500 Rolls-Royces. His palace, the Istana Nurul Iman, has 1,788 rooms and a gold-domed mosque inside. And here's the kicker. He's been in power since 1967. This man rules not just the government, but the soul of Brunei. Every school, mosque, and office has his portrait. His birthday is a national holiday. His quotes are carved into marble on city walls. The people don't just admire him, they revere him. Wealth drenched in silence, here's the strange thing. Brunei is filthy rich. It sits on one of the largest oil and gas reserves in Southeast Asia. The government provides free education, free healthcare, no income tax, and subsidized housing. You'd think the streets would be flashy, loud, luxurious. But instead, it's quiet. There are no luxury malls packed with influencers. No nightclubs, no loud music. Alcohol is banned. Dancing in public is frowned upon. And after 9 p.m., the streets are deserted. This country whispers while the world screams. Sharia law in 2025. This isn't just a monarchy. It's a strict Islamic sultanate. In 2019, Brunei made global headlines when it became one of the few nations to implement full Sharia law, including punishments like public flogging and even death by stoning for certain offenses. Yes, stoning in the 21st century after global outcry. Some penalties were reportedly suspended, but the laws remain on the books. That creates a society ruled more by fear than force. People are hyper-respectful, extremely cautious, and always watching what they say. There's no freedom of press, no political opposition, no public protests. But there's no crime either. It's one of the safest countries in the world. Kampong Ayer, the floating Venice now for something breathtaking. I boarded a small wooden boat to Kampong Ayer, the largest water village on earth. Thousands of traditional wooden houses stand on stilts above the river. Kids wave from open windows. Mosques, schools, fire stations, well floating. And behind them, the Sultan's golden palace, rising like a mirage. The village is over 1,000 years old. People live simple lives, yet many homes have satellite dishes and air conditioning. It's tradition fused with wealth. Islam fused with rainforest. Stillness fused with stories. Cultural curiosity. And caution. As a traveler, I'm used to connecting with people. Asking questions, sharing meals, but in Brunei, People are kind but careful. A shopkeeper offered me tea, then lowered her voice before speaking about religion. A taxi driver changed the subject when I asked about the Sultan's policies. A teenage boy deleted our selfie because I accidentally included a government building in the background. There's warmth here, but it's wrapped in layers of restraint. Nightfall in a silent capital I walked the streets of Bandar Seri Begawan. At night, golden street lamps glowed softly. A distant mosque call echoed through the silence. Stray cats roamed empty sidewalks. Not a soul in sight. I felt like I was in a dream designed by a billionaire introvert. That night, I sat by the river under the stars, writing in my journal, when an old man sat beside me. He smiled, said nothing, and simply handed me a packet of dates. We sat together in silence for over an hour. It was the most profound conversation I never had. Asterisk, what comes next? In part 2, I'll show you the inside of the Sultan's palace, the weirdest luxury hotel I've ever stayed in, and the rules you absolutely cannot break in Brunei. Trust me, almost did. This place is like nowhere else I've ever been. We've barely scratched the surface. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Stay curious, stay respectful, and if you thought part 1 was surreal, wait until you see what's behind Brunei's golden curtain. Today, I'm taking you inside the Sultan's palace, into the world of royal rituals. Ultra-luxury hidden behind prayer and the strict laws that can get even tourists in trouble. This isn't just a monarchy, it's a kingdom where power feels divine. The Istana Nurul Iman, world's largest residential palace first. Let's talk about the palace. You know how people say fit for a king? Multiply that by 1,000. The Istana Nurul Iman is the largest residential palace in the world, bigger than Buckingham, Versailles, and the Vatican combined. It has 1,788 rooms, 257 bathrooms, a mosque that holds 1,500 people, a 110-car garage, banquet halls with crystal chandeliers the size of small planet sand. Here's the thing, it's not open to the public, except once a year. Open Palace Day. I was there every year. During Eid al-Fitr, the Sultan opens the palace for 3 days. Anyone can come. You line up, walk through ornate corridors, and get free food from the royal kitchens served on golden trays. I timed my visit for it. It was surreal. The carpets were so soft, I felt like I was sinking. Every surface glimmered polished. Marble, gold railings, chandeliers that looked like upside-down fireworks. And yes, I shook hands with the Sultan. He was calm, smiling, soft-spoken. The whole room fell silent when he entered. He asked me where I was from. I said the internet. He laughed. I died inside. The Empire Hotel, a billion-dollar resort. With rules, I stayed one night at the Empire Brunei, 6-star hotel once reserved only for royalty and diplomats. The lobby ceiling is 24-karat gold leaf. The elevator is made of mother-of pearl, and the pool looks out over the South China Sea. But here's the twist. There's no alcohol, no music in public areas, and you're advised not to wear swimsuits outside designated zones, even at the beach. It's the only resort where you can order caviar, but not champagne. Luxury with reverence. Comfort wrapped in caution. Laws you might accidentally break here are just a few things you cannot do in Brunei, and I almost learned the hard way. No alcohol, not even in your suitcase. It will be confiscated at the airport. No public kissing. Even married couples should keep affection private. No criticizing the Sultan, even lightly. It's punishable under sedition laws. No Halloween. Western religious holidays are restricted outside official channels. No gossip, slander, and even causing unrest on social media can get you fined or imprisoned. I once took a photo near a mosque during prayer time and was gently asked to delete it. No yelling, no police. Just a soft reminder that you're always being watched. Stay curious, stay wild, and don't eat the death apple. Watching without being seen. Brunei is built on a strange balance. Opulence meets obedience. You feel wealth in the marble, in the air conditioning, in the roads so clean they reflect the moon. But you also feel restraint in every movement. People speak quietly, smiles are polite, never too wide. Phones stay in pockets. It's like living in a dream where every surface shines but every sound is muffled. Trust me, Brunei's nature is just as powerful as its palaces. Welcome back, explorers. It's Alex again. In parts 1 and 2, we explored the golden side of Brunei, the palaces, the power, the quiet luxury. But now, we're going into the wild, because hidden behind its quiet cities and royal mosques is one of the most pristine rainforests on Earth, and hardly anyone outside the country even knows it's there. Into the green heart Ulu Temburong National Park to get there. I took a water taxi along the Brunei River, then a long boat up winding jungle streams, then hiked in boots through dense, untouched forest. No roads, no resorts, just jungle. Ulu Temburong is called the Green Jewel of Borneo, and it's protected by royal decree. Over 70% of Brunei is covered in rainforest, and much of it is off-limits to deforestation, development, and even tourism. This is one of the last true Edens on Earth. What lives here that doesn't exist anywhere else? I saw hornbills with beaks like daggers, proboscis monkeys leaping between trees, sun bears so shy they vanish before your camera blinks, and trees so tall the tops disappear. Into clouds at night the forest sang, not just with crickets, but with frogs that glowed, owls that whistled like wind, and the occasional roar of something big I couldn't identify. This isn't just nature, it's primeval memory. Jungle meets prod at dawn. I climbed the canopy. Skywalk a metal bridge suspended above the trees. From up there, mist rolled over the jungle like milk. And then it happened. A call to prayer drifted across the treetops from a mosque miles away. It echoed off the hills, soft and haunting. It felt like God and nature were having a quiet conversation, and I was lucky enough to overhear it. A village in the trees deeper Aperver. I visited Kampong Sebuta, tiny indigenous village with bamboo huts, solar panels, and satellite dishes. They live traditionally hunting, fishing, using medicinal plants. But they also use smartphones where Adidas slides, and sometimes stream TikTok when the signal's good. It's not a contradiction, it's Brunei. Ancient roots, modern branches. The Sultan's silent environmental revolution. Brunei could have been another rainforest casualty. But Sultan Hassanal forbade logging exports, invested in carbon offset programs, and kept industrialization low despite the wealth he could gain from it. Result? Brunei's rainforest remains one of the most untouched biospheres in Southeast Asia. It wasn't just beautiful, it was spiritual. Because in Brunei, faith isn't a part of life, it's the rhythm of everything. Let me show you what I mean. Ramadan in Brunei, a city that fasted together. I arrived at the start of Ramadan, and instantly, everything shifted. Shops closed before sundown. Streets went still. Restaurants went dark. Even laughter seemed quieter. Then the sun dipped, and the adhan call to prayer echoed through the capital. Windows glowed. Dates were passed. The entire country broke its fast together. I sat with a local family. We shared rice, grilled fish, and a kind of coconut soup I still dream about. It wasn't just a meal. It was belonging even for a stranger. The rules of holiness during Ramadan, laws tighten even more. No eating or drinking in public, even water. Modest clothing becomes a must. No loud music or gatherings before iftar. Foreigners are expected to follow respectfully. Break them, and you won't face violence. You'll face disapproval, and in Brunei, that's worse than a fine. Stories of spirits. I spoke with an imam who told me about jinn, spiritual beings said to live in the forest and old wells. He said some villages leave out food during Ramadan, not just for people, but for them. Not a joke, not a metaphor. He looked me in the eyes and said, "The unseen sees us more clearly than we see ourselves." Chills, a night of gold, and silence on. The night of power, Laylat al-Qadha. I visited a mosque lit by hundreds of lanterns. No phones, no cameras. Just men in white robes, women in flowing dresses, prayers rising like incense. Outside, the moon reflected on the marble. No cars passed. Even the cats slept quietly under the stairs. It was the most peaceful night I've ever experienced. In the final part, I'll share the moment I almost broke a major rule. How Brunei changed me on. Why this tiny kingdom might just be the most misunderstood place on earth. Stay with me. We're almost there. The final chapter. I've shared the gold, the silence, the jungle, the rules. But now, it's time for the part that nearly got me into serious trouble, and the part that changed me forever. The rule I didn't know happened. At the airport, I had filmed a quick vlog segment in front of the Royal Customs crest, thinking it was just a cool background. Within minutes, a polite but firm officer approached. "Sir, that symbol is protected. Please delete the footage." I felt my stomach drop. I apologized, deleted it on the spot, and he nodded. No drama. But the message was clear. In Brunei, nothing symbolic is just for show. Everything matters. Everything is sacred. What Brunei taught me came expecting riches. I left, realizing Brunei is about something else. Respect, ritual, restraint. It's a place that whispers while the world shouts. A place where gold isn't just in palaces, in values. Final moments. On my last night, I sat alone on a pier in Kampong Ayer. The river was still. A prayer call echoed one last time. I looked up and the stars over Brunei were blindingly clear. I didn't want to leave, not because I loved the luxury, but because I'd never felt so safe, so quiet, and so humbled all at once. Until the next journey, if you followed me through all 5 parts, thank you. Seriously. This series means a lot to me. Brunei is a place people judge from headlines. But it deserves to be seen, heard, and felt. If you want more deep dives like this, subscribe, share, and let me know where I should go next. Stay curious, stay respectful, and sometimes, silence says everything.